Happy holidays, Uttori Zoku! This is Imari from Always Uttori. On this channel, we cover fashion, food, and lifestyle. Back in July, we presented 4 Always Uttori color stories with corresponding aesthetics in our teddy bear wreath and Christmas color trends video. Today, we're putting it all together and presenting the first in a series of videos themed around a French provincial or Old World Christmas with a lavender and seafoam green color story. If you'd like a reminder on the lavender and seafoam color story as well as the other color stories we will be covering in future videos, or if you haven't seen the video yet, it is linked in the description box. If you've seen my videos before, you know that Uttori is the Japanese word for enchantment. Today's video is meant to enchant and inspire you. There are 2 other videos scheduled for release that will showcase some of the DIYs and recipes featured in this video if you're interested in creating your own French provincial decor. We hope you enjoy this little bit of Uttori. It can be hard to start with a blank slate, but the holiday dinner table is one of the most important interior spaces, or in our case, exterior space, to set the mood for your holiday theme. Your holiday table is where you will not only share good food, but hopefully will also enjoy the good company of family and friends. We set our French provincial Old World theme amidst the beauty of a wooded pond area. To highlight elements common to the theme, we're using a rustic and weather-worn wooden table and antique wood chairs. Many of the pieces we used for our decor were thrifted with a French provincial aesthetic as our guide. These lovely and very delicate fluted candlestick holders are one of my favorite finds. Here's a tip for getting your candlesticks to stand straight. Use glue dots or a square of parchment paper and twist to help secure the candlestick. Glue dots worked on one of my candlesticks, but as you can see, I ended up having to get parchment paper later to fix the one that's still leaning over. If you're not familiar with French provincial as an aesthetic, it originated as a folkway in the 1600s. What do I mean by folkway? A folkway is just a way of living. During this time, many French nobles built chateaux styled after the Palace of Versailles. For this reason, the aesthetic features an eclectic mix of what many might consider opposites: the practical and the whimsical, the rustic and the opulent, provincial country and city chic. It is the tension of opposites that make French provincial easily transferable to other aesthetics, such as old world, cottagecore, farmhouse, or vintage. Provincial style made its way to the US with returning World War I veterans who admired the architecture of the French countryside. As for our tension opposites, we looked for items that had a mix of opulence and rustic old world charm, along with items that fit within the color scheme. Because our color story was lavender and seafoam, we had to incorporate lavender into the table centerpiece. I bought 6 dried lavender bundles on Temu for $8 a bundle. I also thrifted the box, and on the front I stenciled Joyeux Noël, the French way of saying Merry Christmas. You can see exactly how I did this in the upcoming lavender and seafoam DIY video. By the way, the dried lavender was so fragrant. It filled the air with its calming aroma. Scent is a great way to enhance a holiday theme as it engages the senses beyond the visual. Neuroscientists believe that close proximity between the brain regions that deal with memory, emotion, and sense of smell is why scents can trigger memories. With this in mind, consider creating a sensory experience to accompany your holiday vignettes. The addition of scent is sure to make the holidays even more memorable for your family and guests. To create the floral centerpiece, I placed 3 dried lavender bundles on either side of the box. If you don't want to use dried lavender, faux lavender is a great option, plus it doesn't crumble the way real lavender can. Next, I used some artificial pine that I thrifted to further fill out the centerpiece and to make the arrangement look more Christmassy. I used a piece of cardboard taken from one of the boxes that the lavender came in. I bent the end so that it would fit into the crate. This helped to prop up our centerpiece, a large crown that I got from Hobby Lobby. Why a crown? Crowns are a common motif in French decor dating back to the Empire period in French furniture design. The Empire period lasted from 1804 to 1815. It is the aesthetic marker of the period when Napoleon Bonaparte ruled as emperor over France. Crowns and bees were often used as a symbol during this time to represent Napoleon's imperial prowess. Now that the centerpiece is done, it's time to work on the place setting. To incorporate our color theme, we went with a mix of lavender and seafoam pieces. I'm starting with the seafoam green placemat that you might recognize if you watched my summer 2023 thrift haul. A lot of summer decor was mermaid or natural world themed. Knowing that natural world would still be relevant for Christmas 2023, I got 4 of these placemats from Dollar Tree. I topped the placemat with silver chargers, also from Dollar Tree. Finally, we're using glass plates that I thrifted and painted lavender since it's a color that, at the moment, is a little hard to find in dinnerware. By the way, digital lavender is a rising colorway. It will continue to grow in prominence in 2024 and through to 2026. To continue building out the place setting, I cut lengths of lavender ribbon so that the ends would tuck under the plate, giving it the appearance of a wrapped gift. Next, I put crown ornaments that I got from At Home for $2.99 a piece on top of the ribbon to help keep it in place. 2 sprigs of faux lavender from Dollar Tree go inside the crown, and we've got a simple and inexpensive design that makes your table setting feel upscale and special. Next, I'm placing fleur-de-lis water cups that I picked up on sale from HomeGoods for $2.99 each. Besides these, I'm placing wine glasses that I thrifted for $1.99 a piece. Next, for more French flair, I'm adding a cloche, also from HomeGoods. I don't remember the exact price, but I'm going to say they were $9.99 each. It brings in some of that French opulence aesthetic, and it also matches the gold of the crown ornament. Finally, the flatware. I'm using a gold and silver mixed metallic set that I've had for a few years. This helps tie in the mixed metallics with the silver charger plate and the gold in the crown and cloche. Mixed metallics is actually another big holiday trend for the 2023 season, and it's a great accent to the lavender and seafoam color story that we're building out. In total, I've calculated this table setting to cost around $100 to create 4 place settings, even though I'm only showing 3 in the video. As I continue to build out the vignette, you'll see me add a few other old world decor items to the overall scene, such as bird cages. But for now, we're done with the table. Let's move on to the Christmas tree. I found this awesome French-style planter at Goodwill for $19.99. The planter is the epitome of French provincial old world aesthetic. It has a really worn appearance that I just love because it has the tension between chic but vintage. It also has Greco-Roman motifs which were very popular in furniture design during the Empire era. To prop the tree up inside the planter, I placed broken down cardboard boxes inside, as well as a piece of styrofoam that came as packaging for something else. It ended up being the perfect size to hold the miniature Christmas tree, which was also thrifted for $6.99. To hide the base of the tree, I'm adding the same thrifted faux pine I added to the centerpiece. I'm also adding faux lavender that I got from Amazon. The styrofoam and the boxes I placed inside the planter are securing the greenery that I'm adding. The French aesthetic often has minimalist and sparse Christmas trees. While I couldn't find an exact reason for this, I did come across an article in The Atlantic, How the French Do Christmas by Thomas Chatterton Williams. Williams is quoted in the article saying, "In France and perhaps Paris especially, the trees are significantly more compact than the towering North American varieties, and they tend to blend into rather than dominate their surroundings. These trees are indispensable yet understated, striking a simple balance with regular life instead of wholly upending it." So, with French provincial and old world themes, you get many small trees rather than a single large tree, which can be really wonderful for creating a sense of nature indoors. Okay, our tree is set up, it's time to add the ornaments. I'm adding paper ornaments in shades of purple, as well as rustic clay ornaments, all keeping within our color story. If you want to learn how to make these yourself, make sure to watch the DIY video for this vignette. Chair hangers are a simple but elegant way to add charm to your decor. These handmade hangers are another project that you can see in our DIY video. Paper Christmas cones are a European tradition popularized during the Victorian period in Britain. Although we don't practice the tradition so much in the States, since we're working with an old world theme, we've added a cone garland to our decor. I will show you how to make these cones as well as provide free images for download in the DIY video, but for now we're going to stuff the cones with tissue paper and string them on fairy lights. Paper cones are an inexpensive and charming way to decorate for the holidays. If you don't want to use the cones as decor, they also make a great container for giving gifts like cookies or small toys. In fact, in Germany, parents give Schultüte to their children when they move from kindergarten to the first grade. This century-old tradition might have had its origin point in Christmas traditions, as Christmas also originated in Germany. As you can tell from the video, I had some help stringing the cone garland up. Then I arranged the cones so they would hang evenly across the space. I added this rocking horse to the table to add to the country feel. Unfortunately, the rocking horse broke shortly after this video. You may be wondering why I included it in the decor. As with crowns and bees, horses are a common French motif. Horse riding is one of the most popular outdoor sports in France. The sport of horseback riding is still popular with European elites, so much so that brands like Hermès have closely aligned their image with this pastime. For this reason, as well as the Napoleonic influence, you will often see horse motifs in French provincial design. After all, what could be more country? Now that we've added a bit more decor, let's move on to the wreath. I originally wanted to create a stand for the wreath, but I decided to go a more traditional route after doing a bit more research on the French provincial old world aesthetic. Hanging the wreath on the mirror keeps this wreath design simple and understated. I'm adding a garland and sticking it to the back of the mirror with thick glue tape. I stuck the wreath on with the same tape. And of course, I'll show you how to make this simple wreath in our DIY video. If you have a fireplace, nothing is more cozy than having a crackling fire to add a touch of ambiance during dinner. Since our setting is outside, we used an outdoor fireplace to give us that wonderful snap and crackle of a cheerfully burning fire. It's no secret that the holidays are a lot of work. Once you've completed your hosting duties, it's nice to unwind after the festivities with a sweet treat. When you're ready to treat yourself with a small indulgence, why not try the recipes from our French cookie flight? Our sweet pairing is made up of a pistachio madeleine, lavender and white chocolate ganache langue de chat, and a lavender and sage infused sable, all paired with an herbal and sage lavender tea. Be sure to check out our recipe video if you want to make these cookies as a gift or just enjoy them with your own French provincial Christmas theme. Finally, I lit the candles on the table and our French provincial Christmas is set, so hurry on up, Santa. If you find French country style inspiring, you can use your own color story against the backdrop of neutral tones and natural elements such as rustic wood or vintage pieces that reflect a worn-in patina. Because French provincial and Old World mix different time periods, your color choices should be muted or neutral. To give your holiday interior a sense of that joie you Noël, include common French motifs such as cherubs, crowns, bees, or horses. If the weather permits and you have the space, you can host your holiday dinner in an outdoor setting or bring the outdoors in by bringing greenery indoors with a wreath or lavender during the holidays. Also keep the idea of scent and sound, such as a crackling fire in the fireplace, in mind as important elements to your aesthetic layering. While we show off the final look, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We hope you found inspiration or at least a sense of enchantment for your own holiday theme this year. If you want to know how to make any of the projects we highlighted in this video, please subscribe so you'll see our upcoming DIY and food videos, as well as other upcoming color-inspired Christmas-themed videos. Until next time, from all of us at Always Uttori, we wish you a safe and happy holiday season. Enchantment awaits. Life is just about finding it.